Okay, we are ready to cast our elf ear molds. We're going to use this Smooth-On Universal Mold Release. First of all, what I do is I flood them with the mold release. Put a lot in there, then I put a little bit on my finger. It's kind of cold. Then I just push it around in there really well. I want to make sure that it saturates the mold really well. That way I know that I got mold release all through it. Set that one aside, do the next. Okay, also the ears. After I spray on the mold release, I let it sit for about 4 hours, or you can actually run a blow dryer to it. You just got to dry it out. You got to get all that liquid out of there so that you can mold it. If you don't, what happens is you end up with a sticky silicone. It takes a while for it to cure. It won't cure within, 4 hours. It'll cure overnight or longer, or sometimes it'll just remain sticky. Now we're going to get ready and mix up some PlatSil Gel-10. It's my favorite to use. There's other brands out there. This is the one that I've used a lot, so I'm comfortable with it. I'm going to put them in separate containers. When I weigh them out, I'm going to weigh them out equal parts. So one will be A, B, and then so I don't confuse the sticks, I'll do this. And also, I'm going to put a dot right here. A friend showed me how to do this for when you're mixing the colors. You can actually see how dark you're mixing it, because you don't want to make it too dark. You want to make it so you can barely see that dot through it. Alright, here's a flesh tone. This is medium, and some flocking. I'm going to use a little red flocking, and that's pretty much all that I use for ears. And then what I do is after that I will adjust it to the color of the person. So for A, I'm just mixing up a bunch right now. Really all I need is about 20-25 grams per set of ears. So I'm doing about 150 grams of both PlatSil Gel A and B. So that's 150. Now we're going to mix up some color. This stuff is very concentrated. It doesn't take a lot. So I always use toothpicks. And you're going to mix color in both. You're going to try and make them the same. So I just kind of dab it in there a little bit till it gets in there. Can't use this toothpick for this one because you'll contaminate it, and you don't want to do that right away. So go ahead and mix it in. Mixes in pretty well, very even. That's why I like the cream makeup. It's better than the powder. Then you take your thing, and if you see the dot through it showed up too quick, which means I can actually add a little more color to this one. I can use the same toothpick. I don't dip it back in here, but I notice it still has color on it. So I'm going to go ahead and try and get all the color out of it. And then throw it away. Because if I dip another toothpick into the color, I want to make sure it's a clean toothpick. That looks pretty good. I think I want to put just a tad more in, just to be safe. If you put it too much in, it won't be translucent. So you want to make sure that you don't put too much color in. If it's not translucent, then it's going to look like doll skin, and it's not going to look like really fleshy. So I can see the dot creeping through there. That's perfect. Now I'll go ahead and do the next one. I don't really have a measurement for the colors. I just really just go by that dot. And that looks really nice. That one turned out really good. They may look a little different in color just because the B is a little bit denser looking, the clear. And then this one's more clearer, so it does that. But I use the same color on both. They look really good. I'm going to actually now add flocking to it. This gives it its vascular look and gives it a little more liveliness to it. But like I said, I'm just taking a little bit on a popsicle stick and dropping it in. I need a little bit more in the B, like that. Like I say, when I'm putting it on the person, I will actually color it more to their ear. And a lot of times I will take these colors that I make and I will make a little T for it. See, it gives it a little bit of a nice fleshy look to it, and you can see through it pretty well. That one's ready. Pretty close to my skin, not too bad. So those two are ready to go. We are ready to start mixing some silicone. We've already coated our ears with our mold release, so they're nice and slimy, and they've dissipated all the liquid, so they're nice and clean. The ears are coated too, that's why they're shiny. We're going to start with our chemicals. So I like to do started with 20 grams of silicone. Clear it, do 20 more grams. I mix them together right away just because I have about a 6 to 10 minute working time with this silicone. It's kind of cool in my shop. I take and I mix it, and then remember how I showed you how to pour it up high? I actually pour it back into another container one more time just so that I can break the bubbles down and I don't have bubbles inside the mold. So stir it really, really well. And then what I do right away is I actually pour it back into another cup, and I hold it up really high so that it breaks the bubbles up, and I pour it in nice and high. I'm about 2 feet over the other cup that I'm pouring into. Now we start doing our ears. So take your ear, put it at an angle. We're going to slowly pour the silicone in there so it just kind of creeps along the edges and gets around that nice ear fold, goes to the tip gently and slowly because I don't want to create an air bubble. I'll even put it at an angle like this just so it creeps nice and slow. And you can see I'm pouring it a little high just in case there's air bubbles. There are some fine ones still I see, but it's alright. I'll go ahead and let that one settle a little bit. And then I'll go ahead and pour the other one. Let it creep in all the way down to the center there. Nice and gently. That looks really, really good. Now, when you set these molds together, I go really slow just so I don't create any air pockets. And then I look right, make sure I get the right ear so I don't get stupid. I look at my marks. See my 2 marks right there? So I can go ahead and make sure that I'm setting it in right. I lay it on there just like that, just gently, and then just barely push it. Let it fall itself, like that. I'll let that one slowly creep down, and then I'll go ahead and set this one in. Look at my marks, make sure I got the right distance. So I'm not putting it in upside down or anything. Let it creep down slowly. And it's going to spill out possibly, which that's okay. I'm hoping it will spill. Alright, these molds have been sitting a while. We're going to take them out, see how they look. I actually left them overnight. Going to go ahead and see how well they turned out. I like it when this part of the mold separates. Okay, gently. There you go. Looks very, very, very good so far. Looks like a nice feathered edge. What I do is I take this tool and I slowly lift it away from start in the back and kind of go forward a little bit so that I don't tear that flashing, because I want to make that really pretty flashing. So I just go along there. I can go right here and lift the front away again. This looks really, really nice. And pull the back away gently. Make sure I got it. I see an air bubble in the back, but all in all, it looks really, really nice. You can stretch this silicone. Just get it out. Be gentle. Or you might tear it. Sometimes grabbing from both sides helps. Just because you want to release it away, because that lip is what's catching it. There we go. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful ear. Nice feathered edge. Nice feathered edge. There you go. Gorgeous. Gorgeous ear. Okay, let's try the next one. Okay, for the right ear. See how this one looks. Came off pretty good. Feathered edge looks gorgeous. The only place I found that I need to tear is that tuck that's deep inside here. That's the only place that I had to take a scissor and snip it. But this ear looks great too. There's a little air bubble, but that's in the inside. And that's perfect. That's why we put it this way, so all the bubbles settle up. Just takes patience. Just got to keep going, nice and slow. Try and lift it up. That turned out really good right there. Make sure I got the whole underside pulled away. Yep. Okay, now I just got to grab it. You want to kind of not manhandle it, but you know, just be gentle. You want to lift it away from that lip. Like I say, this is silicone, so it's something you can kind of stretch it a little bit and pull it away from it best you can. Oh, gorgeous ear too. Yes. Nice fine feathered edge. Very fine feathered edge. There you go. Got two absolutely perfect ears. I did two pours. The first pour, I stacked these on top of each other and I added a large weight. Okay, when I did that, I actually caused it to pinch the ear, as you can see there. The silicone touched the rubber mold inside and it pinched it away. So the second set I poured, I didn't put any weight. I just pressed these down, let them alone, and I got those gorgeous ears that you saw, the first ones that I pulled out. All right, so something I learned is no weight on it, and I actually wrote that right here. It says, do not apply weight when casting ears. So I know not to do that next time. Some ears I have to put weight on. These, they pinched beautifully. The edges were gorgeous, and they turned out amazing. So I learned something on that. No weight. And the ears are done. Our next video will be teaching you how to apply these. Alcohol, it's actually...
If you want to learn more about special effects makeup, please watch the next video in this series by effects artist Tom Jensen and subscribe to Egghead FX.